And welcome to another Sunday afternoon edition of This American Life. The year was 1981. The setting, a large basement. The weather, 30 degrees, humidity 20%. The woman, Mary Ellen Shea. The man, David V-chek. The particular cause of the meeting, community potluck.
Who's that new girl? I've never seen her before. What a babe. Oh, come on, David, what are you thinking? Single for life, single for life, single for life.
Dave looked over that night, meeting eyes with the most lovely woman he had ever seen. Slender in body and striking in features. But she had noticed him too.
Oh my gosh, Kathleen Dodds, who is that guy? Oh, that's Dave V-chek. He's celibate for life.
In that moment, Mary Ellen's heart sunk.
Why do I get butterflies every time that Dave V-chek walks into a room? Oh, Mary Ellen, he's celibate, celibate, celibate.
Over the next several months, Dave and Mary Ellen continued to see each other at different events hosted by the community, such as potlucks or luck pots or picnics or nick picks. Other things like talent shows and prayer meetings, friends' houses. And every time they were in the same room, Mary Ellen continued to feel these affections for him, and Dave continued to notice her. Often the thoughts that were going through their heads were,
Ugh, how unfortunate it is to be attracted to a celibate man.
How unfortunate it is to be attracted to this woman when I'm intending to be celibate for life.
Several months later, it's the dead of winter. Another dinner at the Single for Life men's house on 7th Street. Another dinner of beans and rice. The men are freezing. They have yet to turn on the heat. Dave sits at one end of the table, wearing his house slippers, toe poking through.
Oh, how I long for the day when I can buy a new pair of slippers.
It was at this particular dinner that a certain Larry Elberts comes around Dave and says to him,
Dave, we have decided as men that your bohemian self is far too good looking to be single any longer. We have our vote. To leave the life of a singlehood for the, well, actually we're just going to kick you out. Brother, just go get married.
Thoughts of euphoria raced through Dave's mind. Could this really be true? Could this really now be the life he leads?
Could this be true? Could this be the life I now lead? I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
The weather is warming. Spring is here. A light rain dusts the city. Mary Ellen sits drinking an Earl Grey and pondering life's mysteries. Her thoughts are interrupted by a telephone. Moments later, Ken Larson walks in and announces,
Dave V-chek would like to ask you out on a date.
Her mind spun.
Dave V-chek? You've got to be kidding me. Of course.
And you knew that would happen, wouldn't it? Well, now we find ourselves in spring, 69 degrees. A perfect day for a walk around Lake Calhoun. Dave gingerly walks towards Ken and Shireen Larson's door where Mary Ellen was living. His life was simply about to change. Mary Ellen emerges from the door.
Flannel, he thought. She's also wearing flannel.
It was simply love at first sight. That first date was simply heaven. It was on that day that Dave held Mary Ellen's hand for the first time. Now, 30 years later, 5 children and 10 pardon. Let's just say I spoke too soon. Anyways, now, hand in hand, 30 years later, the best is yet to come. Thank you for joining us for our Sunday afternoon edition of This American Life. Be sure to join us again next Sunday as we talk about how we conquered the wild, wild West. Have a great Sunday afternoon with your families.
Oh,